With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. So a couple years ago, it was announced that Sony Pictures with Amy Pascal was working on the Barbie movie, getting ready to star Amy Schumer, a movie that was heavily marked by a number of people online, myself included, simply because it was absolutely insane that this would be a reality. But then, of course, Amy Schumer backed out of the project, or was, I think, backed off or pushed off a cliff in all reality. We got Anne Hathaway to step in, and now the movie moves to 2020. So it says here, Sony is shifting the fish out of water tale from August 8th, 2018 to May 8th, 2020, meaning that the movie is set to open in 8 months. It hasn't even shot yet. Right? So, I mean, it was never going to reach this date to begin with. Sony is moving the Anne Hathaway starring Long in the Works Barbie project to 2020. The Fish Out of Water tale, directed by Australian director Althea Jones, will now premiere May 8th, 2020, kicking off the summer that year after moving from the original launch date of August 8th, 2018. See, the thing with that, too, is this is opening the week after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which means that the Barbie movie is going to be absolutely swallowed in the box office. This is probably going to change this date. I don't think that the Barbie movie is going to work out. Amy Pascal, Walter F. Parks, and Laurie McDonald are producing the project based upon the classic Barbie mythology. What the hell? What is classic Barbie mythology, right? I don't really think there's a super in-depth Tolkien-esque, history here. You're not going to be able to pull out catalog after catalog of the golden age of Barbie, when plastic and ruled the earth, and Ken had a functioning penis. That never happened, right? At least not in this reality. But then again, the Mandela effect is apparently a thing, so we never know. But anyway, it's going to be putting a contemporary spin on the toy with an emphasis on feminism and identity. Here we go. So, confirmed, and we already knew it was going to be confirmed anyway, once Amy Schumer backed out, which was all about probably fat acceptance, let's be fair. And then now it's going to Anne Hathaway. It's going to be all about feminism and identity, and Anne Hathaway is pretty outspoken feminist. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays into it. Now, granted, listen, I'm not against the movie itself running on this particular ideology. I'm actually not. If it handles it in a way that is poignant and it's succinct and its social commentary is there, then it's entirely possible that they'll be able to craft a tale that touches upon these issues that do have an impact on young women and young girls and even young boys in that particular effect, right? Like, one of the things that, I think about now being a father is I look at my daughter and I wonder what she's going to think of her body when she gets older. I'm a big person. I'm a big guy. If we have a lot of the same genetics, she might be a wider framed individual. She might have that. And I don't want her ever to think that her body is bad. I don't want her ever to have a negative thought in her mind. I want to protect her and look after her. That's my job as a dad. And if a movie like this can touch upon some of those body issues in a way that is not only positive, but informative and supportive without being a pandering pile of shit, then it might have the impact that they're looking for. That's in a perfect world. It's not going to actually happen. What I would like to see happen, what I would do if I was writing that type of script, how I'd like to actually play upon the equality for all situation while talking about these issues from that perspective, it's not going to happen. This is Amy fucking Pascal that's involved with this thing, right? Amy Pascal, who helped usher in Ghostbusters 2016, a movie all of us would like to forget ultimately. All right, this is going to be about feminism and identity in 2018, or at this point, 2020. The regressive nature of current modern age feminism has gotten to the point now where they are literally leading a witch hunt through Hollywood in terms of Me Too. This is where things are at. So this movie is not going to be an equally handled subject matter. This is going to be regressive 101, using Barbie as a catalyst. This movie is going to not only completely crap upon the Barbie name in an attempt to deconstruct the idea of the character, it's going to just burn the whole thing down. Watch that not go over well. No, I'm serious. Watch that not go over well, because you still have countless women who grew up with Barbie, who still love Barbie for what Barbie represented when they were a child, that are going to look at this and go, no. And you're going to have your feminists running out there saying, oh my God, this is like the best movie ever. Rotten Tomatoes score is going to be through the roof. It's going to be the best reviewed movie based upon a toy ever. Watch. Sony is going to sit there and use Rotten Tomatoes scores and all of its marketing, just like it did with freaking Ghostbusters. And ultimately the movie's going to crash and burn. People don't want to have these type of topics shoved down their throat. Like I said, tact is what's going to be needed to tell this particular story. They're giving themselves 2 more years, or well, roughly about a year and a half, to work on it. It's not going to go the way that they want. Now, it says here, the script, now to receive more work, portrays a woman that slowly awakens to the fact that she doesn't fit into the perfect land of Barbies and journeys to the real world where she discovers that being unique is an asset. So it's basically Barbie, Special Snowflake Edition. That's what they're going to try to do. Now, we all know how far that mentality has gotten us in the modern age. Do you think it's going to slow down in the next 2 years? Probably not. I mean, it's taken a bit of a hit and people are standing up and speaking back out against it. But when you've got, you know, like the Women's March is kind of propelling this thing forward, from my honest opinion. The Women's March and Harvey Weinstein situation propelling this thing forward. I'd like it to be a positive message for everybody. I would, honestly. It's just not going to happen. If it's about a Barbie that slowly awakens to the fact that she doesn't fit into the perfect land of Barbies and journeys to the real world where she discovers that being unique is an asset. Aren't all Barbies, okay, just to kind of tear that part apart, aren't all Barbies essentially unique? No, ultimately, every Barbie that comes out is a variation of another Barbie, right? President Barbie, astronaut Barbie, race car Barbie, slutty porn star version Barbie. They're all different Barbies. Like, they all come from a multiverse of Barbies. And if they're all living in like a Barbie land, then they're all going to be unique in the Barbie land. So what exactly is it that's going to be so perfect that she's not unique enough to be in a perfect world, or everyone is already different based upon their make? And then she's going to come in the real world? No, that's a recipe for a disaster. Richard Dixon, president and COO of Mattel, is executive producing. Sony announced also that it's giving Superfly a reboot. I don't care about that. But ultimately, the Barbie movie, I do believe it's going to crash and burn. Feminism be damned. You're not going to be able to stop this train wreck. Richard Dixon, COO of Mattel, if you want to save this thing, and I believe you do, oust Amy Pascal, bring in somebody else. Ditch this particular concept, make it basically Ella Enchanted, but with Barbies, and call it a freaking day.